Hey friends. Today I'm spilling the coffee on money mindset and you can hear my voice still. I think, I don't know, I might have pneumonia. We're going to get it checked out. It'll be fine. But, you know, maybe I don't listen to my podcast. Maybe it sounds sexy. I don't know. One can dream. Maybe. Should I? Probably not. Anyways, money mindset. I feel like this is a huge thing that's like thrown around online. Um, a term that's thrown around, a concept that's thrown around, and it's interesting, like most things online are. I feel like I get where people are coming from with this somewhat, and then a lot not. And it's probably surprising who I would 1000% not agree with on this. And I'm not even going to name names because we're not going to go there. I don't feel like getting sued. And I also don't feel like my podcast is even big enough to like for that to happen, but you never know. So I'm just not going to like take that chance. However, this is like a big thing that's been around for a long time, this whole money mindset, and whether it blocks you from really growing your business, whether this is the actual thing that's holding you back from growing your business. And even when I say that, like, kind of sounds a little ridiculous, doesn't it? Because it does to me. So there are pieces of this where, like I said, I kind of get where people are coming from, and yet it gets very, very murky and shamey. And I can't get with that. I don't agree. And I really don't like that that is the way that there are many people that take it that way and are like, well, if you can't get over these money blocks, like your business just isn't going to grow. And it's really has nothing to do with that when you dig into what's going on with your actual business, because there's so many things at play here. And just it would be like me saying the only thing that's keeping you from growing is one one system that you don't have in your business. And if you just put in that one system, your business is going to explode. Well, that's not true. That is not true. That's not the way that this works. And I think that when things like this are being said and being, I don't know if generalized is the right word, but kind of narrowed down to like, which is totally contradicting generalized. Oh my God. But being like, when you're being told that it's just your money mindset, that doesn't take into account anything else that you're doing in your business. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And while I fully believe in working on mindset, like that's something that absolutely, yes, you do need to work on. And especially as you're growing your business and like, well, no matter what stage you are at, whether you're just starting your business, whether you are 10 years in, 20 years in, like whatever it is, it really doesn't matter. But you do need to work on mindset in general. But saying that, just because you have money blocks from childhood, and your parents lived a like your parents one of these examples that I've heard, your parents were cheap when you like quote unquote cheap when you were a kid and really, saved money or told you that things were too expensive or whatever. That kind of told you kind of those types of things and really made you think that you also had to like scrounge for money and really save it and hold on to it and da da da. And like, that's the reason why you can't grow your business. Like, it just, it's not that simple, is more what I'm saying. Like, making it seem like it is just that is not even looking at close to all of the things that it actually is. And when people are saying that, oh, well, it's just a money block. And once you get rid of that, like that, it's going to release everything and the clients are just going to flow to you. And that's not how anything works. Like, what is going on? Because even if you work on your mindset and, you know, maybe that is some type of a block for you. Do you have lead systems set up? Do you have sales systems set up? Are you promoting your business? Like, it's all of these things. And yes, you can say the argument, well, I'm not doing that because I have this block. Well, fine, but it's still going to take time. It's not just removing this block that is going to make these other things happen. It's so many things that work together in business to make your business work. It's just not as simple as saying it's all money mindset or it's all just this one system or this one strategy is going to save you. It's not just one thing. It is a combination of the things that are right for you and for your business. That is really what is going to help you in your business, like get you through your specific mindset blocks, make your business grow, do all of the things that you really need for your business. But we can't just be boiling this down to these like, abstract things of money mindset. That's not, it's not really helpful to do that. And it's really, really, it does get harmful to people when, and I've seen this happen, people are blamed because, oh, well, you just have a shit money mindset. Or on the other side of that, when you don't want to make more money or you don't want to be, someone who makes millions, for example, you want to have a different lifestyle than, the flashy shit that we see so often online. That kind of stuff blamed on bad money mindset. That doesn't even make sense. You have different goals. See, and this is where that whole money mindset thing goes out the window for me. That's where I can't get behind it because it has nothing to do with that. You have different goals than other people. It has nothing to do with your money mindset or fucking whatever. Your goals are literally different. So you don't want the million. You don't want whatever. And that's okay. Like, not everybody has to. And it's just such a weird take, I find, that just because someone wants something different than you, then it's like, well, you're wrong. I don't like, why do you care? I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know why you care. I don't care. I couldn't care less. Personally, I will help you get to whatever you want in your business, whether you want to make millions. We can set up the systems, the strategy, the all of the stuff, work through the mindset, do the things. Look at all of that. If you don't want that, well, look at what you do want. Set up all the things for that. To me, it makes no difference because all that I want to do is help you get what you want, not push you into whatever I think that you should do or doing the same thing as me or whatever. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And a lot of these things just don't in that way. And they are so hammered in online as being this like thing that you have to get over or you're not going to be successful. And it's just like, no, that's no, like it's not the case. And yes, sometimes there are other things going on in terms of like you maybe not being able to reach the next income goal in your business. Is that a money mindset thing, or do you not have the strategy and the systems to get there? Are you not, you know, and whatever people will argue and say this is then that's money mindset, but are you not thinking about, or are you like unsure of what that's going to feel like getting to that next income level, what you're going to do with your money, all of those kind of things. But that's not really how it's ever talked about. It's just like you just have a, like, you just aren't open to receiving it. It's not really talked about in the practical sense of, so if you do get that money, what are you doing with it? For example, for me and my business, like I know I haven't mapped out until the amount that I want to make, my like goal income. I know where all of that money's going. I know exactly like what I want to do with it. And I don't know, sometimes that can be something that people need to actually think about and work through because it also happens that sometimes when the money comes in, it's like gets spent right away because then you see, and I've seen this happen before, you see the people that are spending on all of the like expensive things and it's like kind of like celebrate because you've made the money. And yes, while I do agree that like you should, it's also you have to make sure that you're being responsible with it if you don't have that built up over time. And I feel like there's so much of this that really isn't talked about. And if you are just making like this one big cash infusion month and you spend a big chunk of that money, well, what happens in the months to come when you still have to pay yourself? And then it's like, well, do you want to do that again? Because it didn't seem to work out the last time. And so maybe that is now something that is making you anxious because it's like, oh my God, what if it happens again? And it leads more to, so let's look at, and I don't do this. I don't do this with people. I'm not like a financial person, but I'm just saying it leads to looking at, better money management. But it's not necessarily like that is not the way that money mindset is really talked about. It's more this like magical fantasy like thing that's just like this block that, you know, if you clear all of these clients and all of the money is just going to come in. And it's like that. It doesn't happen that way. It really doesn't. And so I think when we are hearing these things, when you're thinking about this stuff, and maybe someone, mentions that to you, it's like either take it with a grain of salt or like think about, does that actually apply to your situation? Because it may not. And discernment is a big thing that I think a lot of people are getting a lot better at. And it's not just like, following people or coaches or whatever because they're saying certain things and it seems like they're the leaders in, the industry. And so they must know what they're talking about. But it's really thinking about whether what they're saying actually makes sense. Because some people get rich off of things that don't make sense. Just food for thought. I have a lot. I have a lot of food for thought things that I feel like I could share. I don't feel like I would like get in trouble, but sort of. I just feel like there's so many things that I could say, and I'm like, oh, because there's so much bullshit out there. And there's so many things that people have fallen for. And I hate to see it. It like kills me inside watching people fall for these things. And I'm just like, no, like that's literally not business. It has nothing to do with business. Mindset does, strategy, systems, business principles, all of the things, those things. That does. But there are many other of these abstract, whatever messaging, ideas and different things that are out there that just really they've been popularized, I guess, but they really don't actually apply to business. So, those are my thoughts on money mindset. I feel like it was like kind of rambly, but um it's a very weird concept to me, and I don't love it. And I think that I just think so often it becomes a thing of really shaming people when it doesn't actually make sense. And it's something that is like, it's another one of those things that's like, it's not your actual fault. Like there are things that you can change in your business so that it works better, but it's not on like you as a person. You get what I mean? So those are my thoughts on it. You can let me know your thoughts and opinions. And if you like this episode, give it a 5-star rating and review. As always, go after everything that you fucking want and be unapologetic about it.